Hello friends, once again, we are out here getting ready to do another project. This time it is working on an electrical fence. So we got to do a few things. So here's what we got going on. As you can see in the background, we got our pivot that's come through. Anyways, we got this opening in our electrical fence. Pivot can continue to get through and it kind of goes through this pasture and water at the same time while we're watering our field, which is kind of nice. It's a little too rocky out here, which is why it's not planted for our crops. So we're taking advantage of it by just putting some grass out here and letting the cows come out and graze. So kind of how it happens is we got 3 levels of barbed wire, so that's going to be fun. The top one is going to be electrified, and it's going to come through and it's going to tie into these rods that stick out into the wheel track. Over here, looks like we're missing 2, and there's one sitting there. We don't have another one, so we're going to have to find or make another one. Anyways, electricity will come through here. We're going to have to put in a wire that jumps to the back side of these rods that will then electrify the rods. So if any cows kind of try to go through there, they'll hit those rods and get a little reminder not to go that way. And then these bottom 2, ground them. So it's going to be fun. Oh, the other thing is, you can see here we got a wire coming through. It's not rated to be underground, so that's another main reason. And my dad sending me out here is we bought some underground rated wire to go down underneath and pop back up on the other side there. And so I got to dig a trench. It doesn't look too muddy with the pivot, so hopefully that makes it a little bit easier, but I got to get down 6 inches or so. So let's get our tools out. Empty. Don't need it. First things first, pickaxe. We're going to dig a trench. Hope all goes well. Oh yeah. That dirt is fairly soft. Okay, next we're going to take all these little wires out that were here before. Got to remove all those on each side. Then we'll put our new wire in the trench and go from there, because I'm not quite sure what's next. One thing I'm noticing is this one's supposed to be grounded. This is supposed to be electrified, but they are way too close. My dad said that might happen. So I think we will move this guy up a few inches to clear that, which means more tools. So probably yay high. Okay. So this wire actually has a white, black, and a ground. Now I have extensive experience in electricity. I know that black usually is the power, white is return, and the ground, which means it goes to the ground eventually. Problem is, I'm going to have to separate these 3. So I think I'm just going to cut it like so. First rule in using a knife, don't cut towards yourself. All right, got the black out. Get the ground out. I'll leave the white in its protective layer. Now I don't want to cut all the insulation off, so I'll probably just cut out a section here to wrap around this rod, which I guess I actually need to move it up first. And then another little section, and then the rest of it down here at the top of the rod. That way the rest of it stays insulated, protected from coming in contact with these other ones. But first I gotta move this rod. Okay, so now cut it right about there. Out there. Hopefully that's enough. So my thought is just slice that down the middle and pull it out. Hold still. Not too shabby. Ow. It's actually working out a little bit better than I expected. So something like that. Where it comes out of the ground. Wraps inside there. So now for the ground wire. We're just going to wrap all of these together because we want all of them grounded. Come up to this second one. Wrap around it a couple times. One more for good measure. And then this guy will just wrap it out like that. Get him out of the way. Boom. One side's done. Can't do this side until I get the rods. Well, this one might work. Might be one. It's long enough. Make it work. That's gonna work. Now let's take a stand back, see how that's working. My angle's off on a little bit on this one, but it'll have to do. Now, the nice thing about being out here in the country is that you don't really have to clean up after yourself. You can just leave everything. And nobody really knows who did it. Just kidding. We'll take care of, well, I'm going to take care of my garbage. All right, fine. I'll actually take care of it. So now that this is pretty much complete, minus our one rod, just want to kind of demonstrate, show you how it would kind of work with the pivot coming through. Obviously, these would be electrified. So if a cow come up here, calf, if they touch this, it would give them a little reminder to not go through here. But the pivot could still get through just fine, because these things, if you didn't see them before, and I didn't say it before, but these have springs on them. These are actually old tines off of balers and whatnot. And so these are fine to bend out of the way as the pivot runs through, and it'll kind of go through it. So the pivot's coming this way. Either way, it'll be fine. So, yeah, watch out. All right, so I was able to find this, which is right what I need, except for this this all-thread rod is too short. So I'm going to have to cut this sucker off. Boop, boop. And weld on another one. I got some new rod here. I'm going to test out my welding skills. It's been a minute, 15 plus years since I've welded. But rather than stick welding, we have this wire feed, which is going to be a lot easier to weld with. So I might have to take a few practice runs on getting it worked out. Get it chopped. Crap, I wasn't paying attention. And it's cutting this little thing right here. Might have to put a little weld bead on that too. Oh, I'm not paying attention. There it is. Put the ground on. Now I got to cut the rod. So cutting this all thread leaves this little, I don't know, call it a burr, I guess. And then also on these edges, it kind of damages it so you can't put a nut on it. So we're going to have to grind this edge down, chamfer it, so that a nut can go on there nice and purry-like. Oh, that's perfect. However, I just realized I already had it a good end, and I didn't need to pretty that side up. But here we are learning, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to use this vise to squeeze her down. I don't know how this welding's going to look on your guys' end, but we'll give it a go. Put in this vise, stick it in like so. Hopefully that'll give us enough. Guess I should have measured. Measure twice, cut once. Shh. Don't tell my brother. This is his helmet. Okay, I did a couple practices. See how this goes. Wrong gloves. Are you ready to be checked? Forgot to turn on the gas. All right, try this again. Now I gotta fix my screw up. Got a weld. Don't know how well you could see it. That little slit I cut. Okay, there it is. Kind of tacked, welded together, and then tried to fix a couple of those welds. Didn't do that side. And then I fixed my mistake here. It's kind of filled in. Hopefully it holds. And that's it. Get it installed. See if it breaks. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions or recommendations of videos you guys want to see, shoot me in the comments below. Let me know what you want to know, because we all know that I don't know. But we'll figure it out. See you next time.